Hi, very good evening to all of you. Hi. All right, great. So we already have so many participants. It's so amazing to see you all guys here. Thank you so much from our side, Henry Haven's side. So I'm Nada Jihad Yunus, and I would be taking you through this 1 hour of demo session. If at all you have any queries, any doubts with regard to the topics, please go ahead. You can unmute yourself, you can speak, or you can go ahead and put it up in the chat. All right. Cool. So let's get started. Hi, Rashmi, Alia, Bhaskar, Ranjita, Neha, Sanjana, and many more still joining. It's amazing to see the number of people we already have here. Pooja, Neha, that's great. Thank you so much for joining us today. All right, so in this 1 hour of demo, we will be covering various aspects, focusing on the future of content writing, why content writing, the scope of content writing in the first place, and focusing more onto, the aspects or the elements that are important while taking content writing as maybe your career option, right? So I myself, I'm actually an MBA in finance and marketing, and I've transitioned into the field of content writing, into the field of training. So I can say the best of both worlds, right? So talking about the future of content writing. So if we are looking at any brand today, right? So without having their content being put up, there's no brand that actually exists. Whether it is B2B marketing, whether it is B2B business setup, or whether it is B2C, which is B2B is business to business and B2C is business to customer. There is a requirement for their content. There is a requirement for content to be built. There is a requirement for them to kind of present themselves or create like a perception in the minds of their audience, right? And with considering these aspects, of course, without content, how are we supposed to be going ahead and building a brand image or building like a great vision or having like a great perception about a brand in the minds of our, maybe you can say, potential customers, loyal customers, brand ambassadors, right? So when people have actually become really comfortable in the online thingy or building content for, across borders without even being there physically present, is, you can say, the pandemic. It of course had its ups and downs. I mean, each one of us have had like various experiences, but then if we are looking at it positively, with the pandemic, many people are now more comfortable in working with people across borders without people actually being present, right? So there's a great scope for freelancing as well. So talking about institutions, there were so many institutions that actually sprung up. There were so many institutions that were delivering courses online. And who is going to be delivering the courses? The trainers. But who's going to be putting up the course content? You can say the content creators, whether it is the SMEs, whether it is, the content writers or instructional designers. So all what you're seeing on these PPTs is also content, correct? Without content, there's nothing, right? So the pandemic has definitely made us realize that yes, there is a lot of scope of working or taking up freelance opportunities and stuff. So exploring the unending possibilities as you develop knowledge of different genres and approaches to writing by contemporary and past authors. So I myself have a book. It's on, you can say, poetry writing and poetry and prose and all of that. And again, this is possible because of the digital platforms that we have today. It's available on Amazon. It's through KDP, Kindle Direct Publishing, and it is Echo Emotions Chaos Kiss. So without actually any formal training, when you dig and when you delve into the topic, you kind of explore like a lot of different opportunities, right? So content being the king, or I would also say content being the queen, right? So however you want to take it, content being the king and the queen, it does not just come without any, what do you say, without having we can say, without realizing that, yeah, we just do not simply say that, yes, content is the king or the queen. It's because of its prominence. It's because of its, requirement for today. We have content writing, we have content marketing. Under content writing, we have a number of different other types of writing as well, right? And we have business writing. There are so many different aspects. So even if you're from the medical field, you have medical writing as an option. So if you have the flair for writing, if you're passionate about writing, then considering like a PG course would be absolutely perfect for you. So let's go ahead and continue. Right, so different roles as an author or as a writer, different roles that are offered. Anyone here who's interested in creative writing? Maybe you can put it up in the chat. Creative writing, maybe novels. Oh, wow, we have Anushka. Amazing. Anyone else? Creative writing. Okay, how many are here for business writing? Business, medical writing, maybe advertising. Neha, okay, amazing. So regardless of, which type of writing you are interested in, the most important aspect is for you to understand that, yeah, this is my goal, this is my objective, these are my target audience, and this is what I need to deliver. Correct? So if you're clear with your goal, you're clear with your objective, you're clear with who your target audience are, you're clear with your message, that's about it, right? So that is your content. You are good to go with creating your content. But obviously there are like a lot of nitty-gritties that one should kind of understand in order to make sure that, yes, my content is being delivered to my people. My content is being, my content, the message is very clear to my audience, all of that. Just give. All right. Oh, wow. Creative as well as medical writing. So we have Rupesh here who says not yet decided, but then content is something that you're interested in, but not a specific genre. Medical writing, medical, wow. Okay, cool. So we have so many different people with so many different likings and preferences. That's amazing. Okay, so understanding content, you got to be a published author, whether it is novel writing, whether it is maybe a collaboration with someone else, maybe like, two of you together. Like say, for example, my book is a collaboration between my sister and I. So I've written my poetry, my prose, and what she's done is she has given me the illustrations. So it's also a great chance to build your network, to co-author with different authors, right? Not necessarily only in the field of creative, but then if you are focusing on writing a book, so it could also be like an academic guide. It could also be based on a particular subject, right? So you could be a writer, published author, then blogger. How many here are bloggers already? Do we have bloggers already? Okay, amazing. So you're already blogging. Okay. So famous bloggers, I would say ditch the word famous. I would say if you are not going to be focusing on getting the famous tag, that should be the way you get started. All right. So when I started, I have my page on Facebook. It's Echoed Emotions Chaos Kist. Maybe you can check it out later. All right. So I now have over 3 lakh plus followers. Now, when I started, obviously, I didn't think of becoming, I need to be famous. So I need to have so many number of people following me and stuff like that. I think you'll be losing what do you say? I think the flair for your writing, or I think you're going to maybe start judging your own content, or maybe you're going to be looking at everything that you're going to be writing, every piece that you're going to be writing. You are probably going to look at it from the perspective of your readers, and I think that's going to hamper the way you would write. So in order to make sure that you definitely want to write and you want to go ahead and, publish your content, the only thing you need to understand is, yeah, if I'm going to be making my content, if my message is clear, if my message is going to inspire at least one person out there, I've done my job as a writer. And I think every writer should focus on that more than the, the number of likes or the number of shares, or, if you're going to be judging yourself on those aspects, then I think that is not the best way to get started. Okay, then we also have here ghostwriter. Anyone here who's aware of this term called the ghostwriter? No, it's not the one who writes horror movies or horror stories. So who is a ghostwriter? Any idea? All right, let me check. Okay, so writing for others. Perfect. Writing for others, but exactly, perfect, right? So writing for others without getting the name. So any idea where do you find these ghostwriters? Like, in the sense, in which industry, whom do they write for, who hires these ghostwriters? Correct. You write manuscript, writing for someone else without getting the credit. Correct. All right, we're having a lot of different. Okay, so you see, you have the political leaders. They are going to be standing there, they're going to be giving their speeches, they're going to be sounding so confident about the speeches that they're reading out to us and stuff like that. But then who is behind this speech that they are reading out? It is, you can say, a team of ghostwriters, right? So you can say politicians hire ghostwriters. Then we can say these business tycoons, who they of course have, like, a lot of knowledge in the industry, who have like a lot of knowledge coming to the different policies, or you can say the trends, the current trends, the market trends, all of that. But then probably they don't really have time in order to dedicate it to, writing down a book on so and so particular category and stuff. So you can say business tycoons would also want to hire ghostwriters in order to make sure that, yeah, they are giving them few points, and then the ghostwriter would be building on it, right? So how do you become a ghostwriter? First of all, in order to become a ghostwriter, you need to be well known in the market. If you want, like, say, for example, celebrities, they're coming up with their what do you say, they come up with their autobiography. So autobiography is a book wherein you write it yourself about your own life, right? So maybe we have like a celebrity who has come up with his or her own autobiography, but we never really know if this particular celebrity has actually hired a ghostwriter or not. Yeah, so they would probably hire ghostwriters. You can say celebrities, business tycoons. Then you have who else? Celebrities, business tycoons. Then you have politicians, right? So all of these busy people, they would want to hire ghostwriters. And in order to be a ghostwriter, first of all, you need to be an established writer, to be well known in the market, in order for them to approach you, right? Clear? Makes sense? All right. So digital influencer, you have influencers, whether it is social media influencing, whether it is, Instagram influencers, anywhere, there are on social media platforms, there are a number of different platforms. We're talking about Instagram, we're talking about Facebook, we're talking about, endorsing a brand because of your influence, right? Okay, so anyone here tell me what's the difference? Yes, can anyone tell me what's the difference between an expert and an influencer? Okay, I'll give you one quick example, right? So now we have Sensodyne toothpaste, the ad that comes up on TV, that comes up on YouTube, that you would have seen, right? So Sensodyne toothpaste is specifically for the sensitivity of the tooth, right? So the expert would be giving the expert knowledge. So in Sensodyne, we do not have a celebrity who's going to be influencing us to buy the Sensodyne toothpaste, but instead you would see like a doctor coming up with the doctor quote and saying that, yeah, because dentist ka vadha and something like that. So it is the expert's advice that actually influence people depending on a particular product or category or whatsoever. Yeah. So be it an expert or an influencer. Influencers, basically the people who have like a major fan following. With their influence, they are going to be influencing people to take their to make their decisions, their buying decisions. All right. So that is the role of an influencer. The role of an expert is, because of my expertise, I am here conducting the session for you. Correct? As an influencer, maybe there would be a celebrity who's going to be saying like, hey, sign up for the the demo session and stuff like that. It's going to add real value to you and stuff. So because of that person's influence, probably you would have joined the session. But I'm here right now taking the session because of my expertise. Getting the point between the expert and the influencer, right? Okay. So in the field of content writing, yes. Can you demonstrate how to do creative writing? Okay, so creative writing is, you can say, like a huge ocean out there with so many different topics, with so many different, aspects or elements that we need to focus on. So in a matter of 1 or in a matter of 5 minutes or 10 minutes or even 20 minutes, I can't really tell you how to get started with creative writing. Of course, there are many different activities that we would be doing in our sessions. There are, different concepts, there are different activities, there are different assignments, and more theoretical knowledge, poetry writing, all of that would be discussed in your creative writing. But if you just have to ask me right now, maybe I would say creative writing is fictional writing. So you can take inspiration from your real life experiences. You can take inspiration from the people around you. You can take inspiration from your favorite movies, from your favorite books. But what makes it creative is, how are you going to make your book or your story, unique from that of the others that are there. So that is what creative writing is. Creative writing is wherein you are building this glass globe. You are going to be the queen of this kingdom. You are going to be a queendom. You are going to be the king of this kingdom. So it is you who's going to be building the characters from scratch. It is you who's going to be, adding all the personality traits. It is you who's going to be deciding on the plot of the story. It is you who's going to be also trying to, work out on the climax of the story. Is there a specific message that you want to convey through your story? That's absolutely your call. So your creative writing is wherein you are the leader of this entire setup, and the way you are going to be weaving different plots, different stories together makes your stories be different, or you can say stand out from the other stories. All right, great. So now next we have here digital content writer, PR content writer. So digital content writer, so basically you are going to be writing, you are going to be creating content on the digital platform, right? So you're going to be creating content, you're going to be writing, and you're on the digital platform, whether it is Facebook, whether it is your blogs, whether it is a website, whether it is Instagram. So you are creating this content, you are building the content, and you're publishing it, right? And if you're talking about digital media today, everything is digital. Whatever you're reading, whatever doubt you have in your mind, you go ahead, you put up that keyword on Google, you get like a plethora of different options to choose from. So who is behind that content that you're reading? Who is behind the content that you're delving into and researching? It is a content writer who has actually planned up the content, kept in mind a message or an objective or a purpose of creating and building that content, and which is why that content is now available to you, right? So that's the scope of a content writer. If you have to like look around, and if you happen to read advertisements on hoardings, or if you have to hold like a brochure in your hand, again, who's behind that? It's a content writer behind that who's created all that content for you, right? So copywriter is, you can say, I was requesting some sort of example based on. Okay, so you need an example for creative writing, Aparna? Yeah, so that's what I said. So creative writing is any fictional writing which is not true, wherein you are building the plot, you are building your story. So it is story writing, you have scripts, you have poetry writing, all of this comes under creative writing. So in creative writing, it's your opinions. In creative writing, it is your own thoughts that are going to be incorporated. And when we are talking about business writing or formal writing, it of course is different. In business writing and in formal writing, what happens? You have to abide to the rules, regulations, and the objectives of an organization, right? But in creative writing, you don't have to work on any objectives or any specific goals of another organization, but it's you, the way you want to go ahead and build your story, that's your call. What message do you want to share? That's your call. Yeah, the way you're going to be building the characters from scratch, the personality traits you're going to be adding to your characters, that's your creativity, right? Okay, so copywriter. So copywriter is, okay, so any idea? Before that, we have copywriting, and we also have copyright, COPYRIGHTS, all right? And we have RIGHTS, okay? And we have this copywriter, which is WRITING. So any idea what's the difference between this copyrights and copywriting? Any idea? No? Okay, so basically what happens in copywriting, which is WRITING, this is a kind of a writing. All right, so this kind of a writing, meaning to say anything that is with building content for the purpose of advertisements, building content for the purpose of building more sales, building content for the purpose of getting leads, building content for the purpose of, bringing in money to the organization, boosting up the sales is the job of a copywriter. Okay, now this is a copywriter wherein I'm focusing on building content specifically for the purpose of advertisements. All right, this is what a copywriter would do. Now, could anyone tell me what's the difference between a content writer and a copywriter then? Again, let me repeat. Copywriting is writing specifically for the purpose of advertisements. All right, so you are building content specifically to boost your sales, to build your leads. That is what a copywriter would do. So what is the difference between a content writer and a copywriter? Copywriter writes ad copies. Perfect. Those are called as ad copies. So which is why the name goes as copywriter. Content writer writes about the product. No, not about the product specifically. About the product, that the copywriter would write about the product, and I'm going to be luring you, with the information about the product. I'm going to be creating a need and a desire in you for my product. That's the job of a copywriter. Content writer gives information. Okay, that's really interesting. So a content writer gives information. So yeah, we can take that. So a content writer gives information. And what a copywriter would do, a copywriter is going to be calling you to take an action. Okay, so those are called as CTAs. So there is no content written by a copywriter for the purpose of ads without the CTA. So that's called as the call for action, call to action. Okay, exactly, perfect. So copywriting focuses on persuading people. So persuading people to take a call, or calling them or persuading them to take an action. Like say, for example, you would have heard of the demo session happening today. And the one who has invited you to this, or maybe wherever you would have read about the webinar that's happening today, you would have seen that, yes, the PG course about content writing, and then all of that, whatever features about the demo session would have been incorporated, all the details, all the points would have been enumerated. And then you would have like a button, click here to register now, right? So that is your CTA, calling you to take an action. So that is your CTA. If I'm going to be talking about the product, I'm going to be talking about the services, and then I say, click here to subscribe, or click here to buy now, or buy now. So all these buttons are the call to action. So basically, I'm persuading you, I'm convincing you that, yeah, my product is good. My services are better than anyone else's services out there. So I need to be compelling in the way I sound. I also need to be very creative as a copywriter because of my creativity, because of the way I'm going to be weaving my message or crafting my words together. That is how my words are actually going to make a difference to you. And because I've been able to persuade you with my words, you are now going to be clicking on that button, and now I'm calling you to take an action. You are taking an action. Now you would have clicked your register and you would have registered, right? Clear? So that is the work of a copywriter. So again, to reiterate, a content writer, you can say copywriting is a part of content writing. Content writing focuses on giving information, like rightly mentioned. Content writer focuses on giving information, but a copywriter would drive you towards taking an action. And the action expected is obviously to bring in more leads, to bring in more sales, all of that. Yeah. All right, so content strategist, medical writer, social media manager. So social media manager, again, very important role. Social media manager is basically the one who is going to be looking into the performance of the content that is being published on different social media platforms. So are we publishing based on the needs of our readers? Or there is a gap, right? So maybe their expectations are something else or different from what I'm offering them, or from the way I'm building my content and the, how I'm publishing it. So that is the role of a social media manager. A social media manager kind of looks over all the platforms, understands whether the content is in sync with the expectation of their audience, or whether their content is being built consistently, keeping in mind the needs of the organization, whether the content that is being delivered actually is adding value to their customers, to their potential customers, whether the comments that are coming in are actually creating a good impact for the organization through their content out there, whether they are able to build a good perception about their brand in the minds of their customers. So all of this, you can say a social media manager looks in right from scratch, like what kind of content needs to be built, what is the main message, what is the purpose of building the content. Once we are done with building the content, publishing it, analyzing, looking into the analytics, trying and testing different kinds of content, different formats of content, right, for different platforms, ultimately with the main goal that, yes, whatever content is being presented from our organization definitely has to add value. And another thing is, yes, we need to make sure that we are bringing more sales. We are actually creating a good impact on our customers, on our potential customers and stuff. So you can say a social media manager is responsible for the development of the content, the publishing of the content, and also analyzing the outcome or analyzing the content overall. So industries where you can work. Yeah, okay. So we have medical writer. So medical writer, the people even who are not from the medical industry can delve into medical writing. I'm not from the medical industry, but then again, I have experience in the field of medical writing as well. So how it works is basically you need to be good with the way you kind of do your research, with the way you understand the content, and the way you're going to be sending the message across. Like say, for example, if I pull up a content saying knee replacement surgery, all right, so this is something into medicals. So I can write a knee replacement surgery blog, but of course, the kind of content that I'm going to be writing has to, be well researched, because I'm not from medical field, first of all, but I can still do that because I'm going to be referring different blogs that are written specifically by, people who are well aware about the entire process, the anatomy of the knee and all of that. So I'm going to be researching, I'm going to be learning, I'm going to stick to the original meaning of it, but then I'm just going to be writing it in a different manner, right? Maybe just rephrasing it, maybe just sticking to the nitty-gritties of it, and then I'm going to be adding value, not just sticking to one particular blog, but I'm going to be delving into 2 to 3 different blogs and going to delve into research like a lot more. But ultimately, there would be a person who would be editing, who would be checking up the content and then having it published. And the person who's going to be editing and reviewing it would be from the medical industry, right? So people who are not from the medical industry also can delve into medical writing if you kind of understand the nitty-gritties of it. And then you can go ahead and have your content published, or you can place yourself, or you can bag yourself a role in the field of medical writing, right? So your research, your understanding, the analysis, that is more than enough, which is, I think, you can say a requisite for any kind of role, whether you're going to be delving into copywriting or medical writing, or maybe blogging, or maybe social media management. So understanding the purpose and all of that is the most important aspect. Right. So content strategist. So I have my content, but I need to have like a clear strategy as to how am I going to be publishing my content. So different formats, what time of the day. I need to make sure that, yes, I need to also add value through my content. I cannot just create content and expect people to follow me, but I need to add value. Like, say, for example, if I'm into hair care shampoo and, curly hair shampoo and stuff like that. So how do I add value? I would be adding value to you by, incorporating details such as 10 tips to take care of frizzy hair or dry hair during summer. Okay. And if I'm going to be publishing a blog like this, meaning to say you would be interested in reading this blog, and you would also be interested in following my social media page and maybe my brand, right? So that's the way I'm going to be luring you into following me, by adding, by giving you some kind of value. So if you feel you're getting some value out of this particular but if I'm simply just going to flaunt saying that, yeah, these are my products and these are my offers, that's not really adding value to you. So you would not want to probably, follow me or follow my page or follow me on social media. But if I'm going to be talking to you in terms of, giving value to you, then you would be interested in following me on social media. And if you're following me on social media, now it becomes easier for me to build engagement amongst the audience who are already following me. So you're getting my point? So as a content strategist, you also need to plan like a strategy, the delivery, the content building, the delivery of content, the value that you're going to be adding through your content on each and every platform of your, on each and every social media platform. Again, what goes on LinkedIn might not go on Facebook. What goes on Facebook might not go on Instagram. So keeping in mind the trends, keeping in mind the value, keeping in mind the purpose, your organizational goals, objectives, all of that is the work of the strategist, the work of the social media. Cool? Clear? All right. So next I'll take you through the course structure. So what do we have in the course structure? Okay, so in the course structure, we have digital content writing, you have technical writing. So all these are different kinds of content that we would be having in our PG course. So if we are talking about content writing, so content is like a huge umbrella. And in this huge umbrella, we do have like a lot of different types of writing. So you have digital content writing specifically, then you have technical writing. So I'll tell you what's technical writing. So technical writing is, okay, so firstly, we have 4 types of writing, all right? 4 types of writing. The first is an expository style of writing. So what happens in an expository style? In an expository style of writing, you don't really, just give me a second. Hi, the backend team, could you please keep everyone on mute so there's no disturbance? Or maybe you could just give me the host access. Thank you. All right, great. So we have 4 types of writing. First is expository style of writing. Okay. The second is expository style of writing. I'll take you through what each type of writing is basically. Okay. So first is the expository. Then you have the persuasive style of writing. Then you have the narrative style of writing. You have persuasive style of writing, descriptive. So it's expository, descriptive, then you have persuasive, and you have narrative. All right. So what happens in expository style of writing? In expository style of writing, you are only informing your audience. You are not really giving out your opinion. So in expository style of writing, you refrain from sharing your opinions and your thoughts. Okay. So examples to expository style of writing would be your textbooks. Your technical writing would also be an expository style of writing. So what is technical writing? It of course involves, the technical terms and the terminologies and stuff. But then if you are going to be writing it for a layman or for an audience, you need to, strip down the complex maxims into simple points. So, for example, an AC. So technical writing are user guides, instructional manuals, then frequently asked questions. So this would be a part of technical writing. So again, if I tell you about an AC, and if I'm going to be telling you, maybe you would have bought a phone, you would have bought a fridge, or maybe you would have bought even like a toy, like a drone toy or whatever. Even your Kinder Joy toy, it comes with an instruction manual, right? So instruction manual is basically a set of instructions that are designed to help the end user make use of the product. So if I'm giving you the example of Kinder Joy, you get this small, cute little the instruction manual or the instruction guide, keeping in mind it's for kids specifically, right? So what goes in step 1, what goes in step 2, what goes in step 3, what goes in step 4, and then ultimately you have like a finished piece, right? So a set of instructions put together in order to help the end user make use of the product or any software or whatsoever. So that's, you can say, instruction manuals. Even if you buy your phone, it comes with an instruction manual, like, how to use it or XYZ aspects that are specific to using a phone. So any instruction manuals, user guides, all of that are technical writing. So technical writing, again, would be expository style. Why expository style? Because in expository style, you are only focusing on stats, facts, figures, and you refrain from giving your own opinions and your thoughts, right? Creative writing. So creative writing would be a descriptive style of writing. So what is a descriptive style of writing? A descriptive style of, this is expository. I'm going to put X, all right, expository. So in creative writing, it's basically a descriptive style of writing. Now, what happens here is basically you are focusing on building images at the back of your audience mind. So let's say you've gone to, you've had like a recent trip, or, you've gone trekking, or you've attended a wedding recently, or maybe you've had like a family reunion or a friend reunion whatsoever. Okay. So now I haven't been to that particular event with you. Neither have any of your readers been with you to that particular event. So what you're doing in a descriptive style of writing is basically you are focusing on giving your audience a sensory experience. Okay, so you are focusing on the senses, a sensory experience of what's going on. So you're going to be focusing on the visual aspects. You're going to be focusing on what are the 5 sense of organs? Quickly put it up in the chat for me. Yes, Rupesh, correct. Copywriter generates money for the organization, for the company. Perfect. Right. So quickly, what are the 5 sense of organs? Going back to school. Eyes, ears, skin, perfect. Then, yeah, nose, skin, perfect. So eyes, and also we have tongue, all right? So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Okay, you don't say mouth, you say Tongue. Perfect. So eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin. Okay. So now keeping this in mind, if I'm going to be giving you a sensory experience of the latest wedding that I've attended. Okay. So I'm going to be talking to you in terms of the visual aspects. I would talk about the decor. I would talk about the color theme. I would talk about maybe the bride's dress. I would talk about the groom, how the groom was groomed. Right. So I'm going to be talking about all this. Maybe I'm also going to talk about the flower decoration and all of that. So you haven't been with me to that wedding, but you're already imagining based on the descriptions that I'm giving you pertaining to these aspects. That's the visual. Okay. Yours would be the sound. Maybe I'm going to be talking to you about the beautiful background music. Maybe I'm going to be talking to you about the loud music. Maybe I'm going to be talking to you, let's say, about in a vacation homestay. Maybe I'm going to be talking to you about the birds chirping, or maybe I'm going to talk to you about the sound of the crickets, right? That's amazing. So this is going to help you to get into that atmosphere, because I'm going to be giving you a descriptive, a descriptive sense. I'm going to be giving you a sensory experience. No, so if you're talking about a wedding, that goes without saying, especially in the Indian wedding. If you're going to be talking, you're going to be for sure talking about the aroma of the food. Okay, or you could talk about the fragrance. You could talk about anything wherein it is the nose thingy, the nose sense organ. So you're going to talk maybe about the fragrance. You're going to talk about the smell of the aroma of the food. Absolutely up to you. Tongue, that's the taste. And skin, it could be anything. The temperature, the pressure, the pain, right? So that is the skin receptors. So by focusing on giving your audience a sensory experience, you are actually giving them a descriptive style of writing. And you see, any creative writing would be descriptive, because in creative writing, what you're trying to do is you are focusing on building images at the back of your audience mind. Yeah, correct? All right. So now we have medical writing. Like I've already given you details about it, medical writing. Okay, so now we have expository, we have descriptive. Now persuasive and narrative, and then you guys tell me which of these would fall under expository, which of these would fall under descriptive, which of these would fall under narrative and persuasive. Okay, so expository style of writing, again, I'm reiterating, expository style, you focus on the stats, facts, figures, you give information about a particular thing or a topic or whatsoever, but then you refrain from giving your own opinions. So you don't give your own opinions, all right? If you are going to be descriptive style is I have to give my opinions, and I would be focusing on giving my audience a sensory experience. That's descriptive. Now, persuasive, many of you have already, mentioned that copywriting would be persuasive style of writing, right? So that's absolutely right. So persuasive style of writing is wherein I'm persuading my audience. I'm persuading or I'm convincing them. That's persuasive style of writing. And last of all, narrative, you can say narrative is like descriptive, wherein I'm narrating a story to you. All right. It could be a descriptive or it could be a very brief story, but I'm narrating a story. So that's narrative. So now tell me, medical writing, would it be expository? Would it be descriptive? Would it be persuasive, or would it be narrative? Quickly put it up in the chat. Here, expository expository style of writing. Perfect. So medical is expository style of writing. Okay, digital marketing, it could be anything, right? So digital marketing is all about creating stories. It's all about what kind of content you want to present. So digital marketing, I would say, is not a specific niche, so I cannot categorize it under any specific style of writing, but it depends what kind of blogs are there in digital marketing, then I could say whether it falls under a specific category. All right, now copywriting, would it be expository, descriptive, persuasive, or narrative? Okay, so I have a question here. Which one is the best? Okay, perfect. So Copywriting is persuasive style of writing. Absolutely. Okay, so I got a question here as to which is the best style of writing. I would not say this is better than the other or that is better than this. It all depends on what is your, your passion, whether you want to, or you can say your expertise, or you can say in which particular field you're interested in, whether your interest lies in creative, or your interest lies in copywriting, or your interest lies in, yes, perfect, or your interest lies in medical, or it is in technical. So every field has its own, you can say, niche, has its own job requirements, has its own scope. So there is no writing which I can say this is better than that or that is better than this, right? It's absolutely based on your interest. It's absolutely based on what do you want to go ahead and achieve in life. Fine. Okay, so overview of content writing course. I'm going to take you through what we have in the overview, and also going to take you through the, about Henry Harvin and all of that. So language skills. So we will, of course, start off with the basics, that is getting started with language skills in our content writing course. So the grammar check, the importance of punctuations, sentence, sentence. Yeah, so everyone here, there is a link. Kindly mark your attendance. Okay, so there's a link given in the chat box. Kindly mark your attendance. Cool. So we'll be focusing on grammar. We'll be focusing on the punctuations, the importance of the punctuations, when to use a comma, when to use a semicolon can get really tricky and can get really confusing, right? So we'll be focusing on, going back to the basics and understanding it from scratch, from the very basic level. The sentence fragments, the noun disagreements, the spellings, you can say the difference between American and British English, even those spellings, incomplete or dual comparisons, words that kind of lead to misinterpretation, or, that lead to ambiguity, use of Latin words in English. So all of these aspects that we would be working on. Okay, so then here, civilize and ISE and IZE. Okay, so all the words with ISE are British, and all the words with IZE or IZE would be American. All right, so you see here, civilize, organize, standardize, mobilize. So it's not the difference in the meaning, but it is just the British way of writing and the American way of writing. So if you're catering to a generic audience, you would use the British style of writing. If you're catering specifically to the US audience, then you would use the American style of writing. Again, now if you are sticking to one style, right from the beginning of your blog until the end of your blog, stick to one style, meaning to say there has to be consistency. So in my first paragraph, I cannot use British style, and in my second paragraph, I cannot use American style. So that's not the way you're supposed to be writing. If you're writing in British style, right from the beginning till the end, follow the British style of writing. Don't mix up two styles, basically. If you're catering specifically to American, use the American spelling language. If you are catering to a generic audience, or you're catering to a British or generic audience, the British style of writing is preferred. Okay, so now tell me the words that end with OUR and OR. So OUR would be British, or OUR would be American. The words ending with OUR. Let me quickly check the chat. Okay, so here I have COLOR. So tell me, is this a British or American? COLOR. Okay, COLOR, no. COLOR would be American, all right? British would be COLOUR. Cool? So I'll show you here. See, all the words that end with OUR are British, and the words that end with OR would be American. Perfect. Cool. So labor, rumor, neighbor, color, flavor. OUR words British, labor, rumor, neighbor, color, flavor. OR words American. No difference in their meaning, only difference in the spellings. Cool. Okay, next we have, okay, so we also have another one, which is ER and RE. So tell me the words ending, like say, for example, center. Okay, I'm going to be putting up center here. So tell me whether it is CENTER. Is this British or is this American? Center, meter, we have all these words ending with, okay, perfect, Neha. So how would I write it in the American style? So CENTER is American. So if I'm going to be writing center in British style, what would be the spelling? Perfect. Awesome. All right. So the RE words are British, and the same word you write it in ER would be American. Cool. All right. So writing catchy headlines, choosing a brand voice, establishing tones, understanding the different tones, the formal tone of writing, informal tone of writing, authoritative tone of writing, pessimistic tone, right? So there are different tones, and there are different types of writing. There are different styles of writing. So which style to adopt when, which tone to adopt when is also something that we would be focusing on. Okay, now here talking about Google, talking about SEO, talking about SEM and all of that. Again, so any idea what does SEO stand for? SEO, what does it stand for? Can put up in the chat. Ever heard of this terminology SEO? Search engine marketing is SEM. Perfect. So search engine marketing is SEM, but how about SEO? What is the full form of SEO? Search engine optimization. Perfect. Correct. All right. So basically what happens in SEO, you have SEO, you have PPC, which is pay per click, you have SEM, which is like you rightly mentioned, search engine marketing. Okay. So now what happens here is in SEO, which is search engine optimization, the main objective is to make sure that I am ranking, I'm focusing on my website, is to rank your website in the organic search results. Okay. So when I'm talking about the organic search results, meaning to say there is pay-per-click. So if at all I'm going to be, you open up Google, you search for anything like say white shoes or white chocolate cake or whatever, right? So you would find the sponsored content on top. Is that right? Have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed whenever you search for any term, you also get the sponsored content on top, and you get like, the content below, which is not coming up as an ad, right? So the content that comes up as an ad is called the sponsored content, and that's called the pay-per-click. Okay. So if I'm focusing on SEO, meaning to say, I am incorporating the right keywords. That is again by understanding how to use the keyword planner and all of that in our sessions. So search engine optimization is I'm trying to rank my website high on the search results. Higher the website rank, higher the visibility or more exposure would I get on Google SERP. Google SERP meaning to say SERP stands for search engine result page. So you type a particular term, you get results to that particular thingy, right? So that page, what you are viewing the results is called as your SERP, which is search engine result page. Makes sense, right? So you're getting results pertaining to the particular keyword, and that's on a search engine page. So which is why it's called as the search engine result page. All right, so now coming back to this point. So if I'm focusing on having a high page rank, automatically my page would, get more visibility on the very first page of Google. So SEO is trying to create more organic search results. And PPC is I am using, paying up to Google in order for my content to be sponsored and, to be shown on the very first page or to be shown right at the top. That is by putting in money. So SEO is without putting in money, I want to use the right kind of keywords. I want to make my content really good, in terms of their expectation, in terms of the requirement for today and XYZ aspects. XYZ aspects, again, meaning to say that, yes, if I'm going to be writing on the current trends, if I'm going to be writing on the need for today, and I'm going to be creating value for my content, people would automatically want to engage with my content, right? So SEO is focusing on getting more organic, getting more organic people. And pay-per-click would be, yes, reaching out to the audience by through a means of advertising by paying money. Now, SEM is a mix of paying money and still using strategies in order to, widen my organic audience. So SEM is a mix of PPC and SEO. SEO focuses only on building organic audience. But in today's world, even though Amazon is so huge, they still indulge into advertising, right? Because if I'm not going to be advertising for my products and I'm not going to be advertising for my brand, there are n number of new brands that are coming up today. There are n number of existing brands that are already there. So I'm going to be hidden or overshadowed in the myriad of brands that are already coming up, or the number of brands that are already existing, right? So that is your SEM, which is a mix of SEO and PPC. PPC is pay-per-click. Keywords research, understanding. So we'd be focusing on understanding how to, focus on the SEO, which is search engine optimization. What is SEM? What is PPC exactly? How does it actually work? The keywords, the research, all of this we would be going through in our sessions. Then content niches, creative writing, the difference between an article and a blog, technical writing, academic writing, medical writing, copywriting, SEO, branding content, all of these content niches we'll be focusing on. Define your niche, choose a content strategy, understanding the difference between tactical and strategic content, marketing channel, demand generation versus demand fulfillment. So there is a gap. So I know these many people are demanding so and so, but how do I fill the gap? Through means of my content, by talking about my product, by giving them solutions. So build your personal brand, write and earn. We would also be focusing on power writing, which is how to get rid of the redundant phrases, or how to use power words, or how to, blend the creativity into our content in order to get those number of followers, to get the number of, you can say leads, to build our leads, all of that. Cutting off the dead weight, writing in active voice, consistent English. So your communication also ought to be really good. Your vocab, your diction, your syntax. If you're supposed to be writing for an audience and you're supposed to be conveying something very important or crucial, you need to kind of understand your audience. You need to kind of understand the way you're going to be framing your sentences. Every sentence that you write there has a meaning behind it. So you need to make sure there's no misinterpretation of your content, right? So reading it from the viewer's point of view or from the reader's point of view. All right, so there are different projects also that you would be taken through this course. You have like a number of different assignments, different class activities that we'll be working on, right? Okay, how to choose a niche for writing SEO blog article, and how write a quality without using any AI writing technique. Okay, so first of all, you need to understand what are the keywords. You can say without the use of keywords, you can't really reach out to a large number of organic audience, regardless of however good your blog or your article is. So what are the keywords? How are people searching for, like, say, for example, I'm going to be writing something on Bitcoin. Okay. So I need to know the way people are searching for, Bitcoin or stuff related to Bitcoin. Until unless I know that, and until unless I'm going to be incorporating those kind of keywords, how do I reach out to my audience? That's not possible, right? So I need to know the way you are looking for content, pertaining to Bitcoin. I also know pertaining to Bitcoin, there are a number of content pieces that are already published on the internet, right? So how do I stand out? How do I build my page rank? All of that is not like a go-to solution. You do this and you're going to get the number of followers, right? It is, of course, like, a consistent approach. There is no hard and fast rule. You do this, you are going to get the best results, right? But it's a consistent way of kind of following up with the needs, requirements of the audience, kind of understanding what main message you want to share, or what is the main value. I would say anything that you're going to be creating, whatever content you're going to be creating, you need to focus on what value are you going to be giving to your audience. If you're going to be adding value to them, then they would be interested in reading your piece. Even if it's about a Bitcoin, maybe I'm going to be educating them. Maybe I'm going to be telling them, what is Bitcoin? Why is everyone talking about it? Or how can you save so and so money through Bitcoin? Or how can you earn so and so through Bitcoin? Whatever. So basically, I need to give you some value. So whatever topic I'm going to be writing on, make sure you're giving value to your customers, your audience, your readers. I think this would be the best solution that you could follow, right? Okay. So the capstone projects, we have content writing, SEO, creative writing. We have different assignments, a lot of different activities. We'll be working on story, we'll be working on poetry, we'll be working on technical, on medical, copywriting. And for each and every field or each and every particular category, there would be different activities that we would be indulging our participants in. Okay, so getting started with Henry Harwin. About us, we started in 2013 and based in San Francisco, California. Henry Harwin is a competency development organization offering focused learning solutions, those catered to diverse audience from industry and academics. It also has its presence in India, Sri Lanka, and Beijing, right? Okay, another thing, reading about that, whenever you are referring to a firm, an organization, and an industry, you don't refer in terms of plural, but you refer in terms of singular, all right? So here, if you see, you don't say here, I said it has its presence. You always refer to a brand, to an entity, to an organization in its singular form. Okay, delivered instructor-led training to a client base of 30,000 plus learners, providing 80 plus courses. Delivered self-paced training to a client base of 2 lakh plus learners. Vendor with 150 corporates, partner to 80 plus colleges pan-India, and 100% job guarantee assistance. So I'll take you through the program features. So we have these features listed. So feature number 1, training course, learning various skills and techniques with 100% practical training over 12 months. Feature 2, we have 10 plus projects. Feature 2, Hallmark certification, get global recognition certification with Hallmark next to your name. So you can flaunt it. You can show that, yes, you are a certified content writer or certified digital marketer or certified, content specialist. 10 plus projects, implement your learning via Capstone Live projects. So there will be a number of different projects that you can work through. A guaranteed internship. So 100% internship guaranteed at beginner, intermediate, and advanced levels. So once you're done with your course, so rather than only focusing on the theories, we also give you like, the internships to kind of experience what it is in the real world out there. Off-campus placement support, premium access to jobs for you portal offering off-campus job support with 2,000. Hackathons, yeah. Access to all Ask Henry hackathons worth 4,000. Boot camps, access to premium career boot camps with 3,000, worth 3,000. E-learning premium access to jobs for you portal offering off-campus job support worth 2,000. Feature 9, gold membership. All of these features, you see 1-year gold membership for Academy and attend unlimited live sessions worth 6,000 bucks. Now, talking about on completing the program, you will learn the requisites of content writing, apply successful content writing techniques, weigh abundant writing concepts to equate to your own work, assess your own strength and vulnerabilities for handling different writing projects. So you would be able to manage projects, you would be able to build content, you would be able to also build strategies for your content. You would know a plethora of different digital platforms and channels to publish your content. You would also understand how to go ahead and share or build content and share your writing confidently with others. So this is what, and a lot more than this, it would be you would be adding to your own learning curve what else you are going to be getting out of the program. So maybe you can have like my need, what I need at the beginning, like your need analysis thingy, you have it at the beginning, and once you're done with the entire course, obviously you would see whether your needs have actually been met or not. So you can go ahead and do that assessment for yourself, but you would be learning like a lot of these different aspects or elements. Okay, so program details, we have the training fees, the self-paced course, assignment projects, the certification, the job guarantee, the element you have the e-learning, LMS portal access, 100% job guarantee assistance, unlimited access to multiple trainers, not just one trainer. You can choose your sessions, different trainers. You can go ahead and attend different sessions. Actual price is 1,99,992, but the offer price is 1,09,500. So you pay 1 lakh for all these different. I took you through the course structure, right? So it's not just content, but you would be learning content writing, you would be learning copywriting, technical writing, medical writing, and someone asked which is the best. So there's no best. It's your own decision. You get to choose whichever field you want to enter, whichever field you want to delve into, right? So that is absolutely your call. So you would be trained not only in one sphere, but basically you would have knowledge in all the types of writing. All right, so get updates on performers and related news. You can follow us here on these links that are given here on the chat. Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, and stay updated to our webinars. Want to register? The upcoming batch is starting on the 12th, which is like 2-3 days from now. Starts every week after that. So you want to talk, you won't have any doubts, you can call this number that's mentioned here on the screen, call or WhatsApp, how to enroll, how to go ahead with the process, what is the best for you, how to get started, all of these details. Okay, so how to go about it, how to get started, all of these details you can get by speaking to your relationship manager. You can take down the number 9891 953953. Cool. So if you want to register, I'd be happy to welcome you on board. Thank you. And that's about it for today. Hope we've added value. Hope it was a good return on your time investment in this past 1 hour. Really loved the interaction with all of you guys. Y'all were so proactive in putting up your, your opinions, the answers in the chat box. Thank you all so much for the participation. Take care and bye-bye. It's Neda Yunus signing off. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Neha. Thank you, Jake Shankar. Thank you, Vijay Kumar. Thank you, Pooja. Thank you. Thank you, Alia. Thank you, Rupesh. Thank you so much. You like my teaching method? Thank you so much. All right. Thank you all. Stay tuned. Bye-bye. Thank you. Have a great evening ahead.